Imagine walking into a mansion that looks like it was designed by a millionaire who just unlocked cheat codes in real life. Marble floors, a pool that sparkles like it's auditioning for a jewelry commercial, and garage doors that open to cars with more horsepower than a small army. But here's the twist. This isn't the home of a retired NFL legend. Nope. It belongs to a 23-year-old quarterback who's still proving himself in the league. Welcome to the world of Shedeur Sanders, the son of Deion Primetime Sanders, where luxury meets legacy and swagger is practically part of the family DNA. The man hasn't even played a full NFL season yet, but he's already living like he's collecting Super Bowl rings as a hobby. How did he do it? How does someone go from college dorms to owning a mansion with a pool that looks like a scene from a Drake video? Well, you're about to find out, because this isn't just the story of a young athlete. It's the evolution of ambition, fame, and generational flex done right. Shedeur Sanders was born on February 7, 2002, in Tyler, Texas, a place where football isn't a sport, it's a birthright. But when your dad is Deion Sanders, football isn't just the family business, it's the family brand. Growing up in that household, imagine trying to learn to swim while your dad is Michael Phelps. Every throw, every step, every haircut, someone was watching. At Trinity Christian School, where his father conveniently doubled as offensive coordinator, Shedeur started crafting his own story. Senior year, the kid went full beast mode, 3,702 yards, 43 touchdowns, and numbers that made recruiters forget how to blink. But the whispers followed him everywhere. Is he really that good, or is it just his last name doing the heavy lifting? Spoiler, it was both. But Shedeur's first big plot twist came when he pulled a move that had everyone talking. Instead of staying on the safe, flashy college route, he followed his dad to Jackson State, an HBCU that most of America couldn't even find on a map before the Sanders family arrived. And that decision? That's where things got spicy, because what happened next was history in real time. The Sanders duo didn't just put Jackson State on the map, they turned it into a movement. ESPN cameras started showing up. Celebrities sat on the sidelines. And Shedeur, he went full highlight reel, throwing for nearly 3,000 yards, taking home the Jerry Rice Award for top freshman, and proving that he wasn't just Deion's son, he was Deion's equal in the making. But of course, success has a way of attracting skepticism like moths to a spotlight. Could he keep dominating once he stepped out of his father's orbit? Cue the next chapter, the Colorado Gamble. When Coach Prime took over the University of Colorado program, Shedeur followed again, this time straight into the fire of Division I football. Suddenly, he wasn't the big fish in a small pond anymore. He was a Sanders in shark-infested waters. Analysts said he wouldn't last. Fans doubted him, and critics sharpened their tweets. But Shedeur didn't flinch. Game after game, he proved he had ice in his veins. His pocket presence, smooth, his accuracy, surgical, and his confidence. Let's just say the man was throwing touchdowns and shade at the same time. Still, college football is the great equalizer. It humbles everyone eventually. Scouts started dissecting him like a science project. Holds the ball too long, needs to handle pressure better. Does he have that NFL arm? The noise was constant, but the numbers spoke louder. By the time the NFL draft rolled around in 2025, Shedeur's name was on everyone's lips, and Deion's quote echoed across headlines, "My son will shock the world." And then, draft night came. Round 1, silence. Round 2, crickets. Round 3, still nothing. Somewhere Tom Brady probably smiled knowingly. Because just like Brady, Shedeur's moment didn't come with fireworks. It came with patience. Finally, on the last day of the 2025 draft, the Cleveland Browns called his name with the 144th overall pick. 5th round. Not the fairy tale everyone expected, but a beginning written in grit. Now picture this. You're 23, fresh off a rookie deal worth $4.6 million, and your signing bonus alone could buy a small island. What do? Some people invest, some people save. Shedeur, he bought Ohio. Well, almost. The quarterback's new 5,000 square foot Ohio mansion is what happens when hard work meets hard flex. A long driveway winds through manicured lawns, leading to a 5-bedroom palace that whispers money but screams style. Inside, natural light floods the rooms like every window was designed by a cinematographer. Hardwood floors, high ceilings, and a kitchen so sleek it could host a cooking show. We're talking sub-zero appliances, marble counters, and an island big enough to qualify as real estate on Zillow. And then there's the backyard. Imagine stepping out to a 40-foot heated pool with a diving board, a fire pit, and a pergola straight out of a vacation resort. That's not a backyard. That's a recovery spite for your ego. Picture Shedeur and teammates post-game, chilling by the fire, laughing, music in the background, maybe a few too many wings on the grill. This is where victory gets toasted and losses get forgotten. Upstairs, the master suite looks like the kind of place where motivation sleeps in silk sheets. Spa bathtub, walk-in closets lined with designer gear, and a private office where game tape meets game plans. Downstairs, a full entertainment basement, video games, movie nights, even a home gym setup. The vibe? Somewhere between athlete's retreat and young millionaire's clubhouse. Every inch of that mansion tells the same story. A young man who earned the right to live large, but still feels like he's just getting started. But that Ohio dream house is only half the saga. Because before the Buckeye life came calling, Shedeur had another pad that set the tone for his taste, his Colorado Springs home. And if you thought the Ohio mansion was luxury, wait till you see how he leveled up from the mountains to the Midwest. Oh, you thought that Ohio mansion was where the story peaked? Nah, that was just halftime, because before Shedeur Sanders moved into his Ohio kingdom, he had already been living like a young boss in Colorado Springs. Think of it as Mansion 1.0, a $1.7 million mid-century masterpiece that looked less like a football player's home and more like the kind of place Tony Stark would crash after a long week of saving the world. From the moment you walk through the front door, the design practically flexes at you. Clean lines, warm tones, glass everywhere. The house doesn't whisper luxury, it performs it. You'd half expect an orchestra to start playing when you step in. The living room, a symphony of class, open layout, glowing fireplace, and those massive windows framing the Rockies like a live painting. And just downstairs, the family room had primetime hangout spot written all over it. Wide, sunlit, cozy. The kind of place where Shedeur could unwind after torching defenses all day. And yes, there's a gas fireplace down there too, because apparently the only thing Shedeur hates more than losing is being cold. Step outside and you're met with panoramic views that look like they came straight off a travel brochure. The Broadmoor Resort twinkling in the distance, Colorado Springs skyline stretching for miles. It's luxury meets serenity. You can practically hear the "I Made It" soundtrack playing in the background. Now let's talk about the bedroom, or as Shedeur probably calls it, the command center. The master suite is pure sophistication. Floor-to-ceiling windows, private balcony, a bathroom that looks more like a spa retreat. You could take a shower, meditate, and hold a press conference in there and still have room left over. Everything about the house screams one thing. This is not a kid living off dad's name. This is a young man curating a lifestyle. But that Colorado era was also symbolic. It wasn't just where Shedeur slept. It's where he built himself. He was juggling classes, practices, and national attention, all while turning Jackson State's underdog story into a household name and setting the stage for his next chapter. That house was less a trophy and more a training ground, a pit stop on the highway to the NFL. And once the draft dust settled and Cleveland called, Colorado was in the rearview mirror. New city, new stage, new flex. Because while the mansion tells one side of his story, the garage tells the other. That's right, welcome to Shedeur Sanders' garage, also known as the Museum of Speed and Status. Forget about a driveway full of Fords. This man's lineup looks like the Fast and Furious cast list. Front and center, the Lamborghini Urus. The SUV that doesn't care about practicality. It's here to announce your arrival before you even step out. Twin-turbo V8 engine, 640 horsepower, and an acceleration so violent it could reset your Wi-Fi. The kind of car that makes every red light feel like a starting line. Next to it sits the Mercedes-Benz G-Class, the G-Wagon, the king of celebrity SUVs, boxy, brutal, timeless. It's not about aerodynamics, it's about attitude. You don't drive a G-Wagon to blend in, you drive it to remind traffic you have options. And then, the crown jewels, the Mercedes-Maybach twins, the GLS 600 and the S680. These are not cars, they're five-star hotel rooms on wheels. Reclining rear seats, ambient lighting, massaging features. Even the air feels richer when you breathe inside a Maybach. You don't just arrive somewhere in one of these, you descend upon it. But the wild card in this lineup? The Tesla Cybertruck. Stainless steel, sharp angles, and straight-up sci-fi vibes. It's like if Batman and Elon Musk decided to co-parent a pickup truck. Some people buy the Cybertruck for sustainability. Shedeur probably bought it because it looks like it could outrun paparazzi and tank a snowstorm at the same time. And together, these cars tell his whole story. The Lamborghini for the swagger, the G-Wagon for the legacy, the Maybachs for the luxury, and the Cybertruck for the rebellion. It's not just a collection, it's an autobiography on wheels. But here's the kicker: cars, mansions, designer gear. All of it needs fuel, and not just the kind that goes into an engine. Because for Shedeur Sanders, lifestyle runs on hustle. The money doesn't come from thin air. It comes from touchdowns, contracts, and being part of a billion-dollar brand with the last name Sanders. Shedeur's rookie deal with the Cleveland Browns, a 4-year, $4.6 million contract with nearly $500,000 upfront as a signing bonus. Sounds like generational money, right? Well, hold that thought. Because in NFL terms, that's basically mid-tier luxury. The twist? None of it's guaranteed. That's right. He has to earn every dollar he pockets by proving himself on the field every week, and that's where the grind gets real. But here's where things get funny. Back in college, Shedeur was actually richer. Thanks to NIL, name, image, and likeness deals, he was raking in an estimated $3 to $5 million a year before he even set foot in the NFL. Let that sink in. Dude was making more money in college than most rookies in the league. Endorsements, sponsorships, merch collabs. His social media presence alone is practically a side business. So when people say Shedeur's worth $4 million, that's just the surface. It's not just football money, it's influence money. Brand deals, appearances, NIL residuals. Being Deion's son might have opened the door, but his charisma and consistency made sure it stayed open. And yet the real flex isn't the bank account. It's how he moves. Confident, calm, calculated. He's not out here burning through cash like it's monopoly money. Every investment, every car, every property feels strategic, like he's building not just a life, but a legacy. Still, even young stars trip up. Fame doesn't come with a user manual, and if there's one thing we've learned, it's that the brighter the spotlight, the easier it is to get blinded. Because while the mansions and Maybachs tell one story, his personal life tells another. One that's just as fascinating, just as raw, and just as human. And that's where things get real. Away from the roaring stadiums, roaring engines, and roaring critics, Shedeur Sanders lives a life that's surprisingly chill. Or at least as chill as life gets when your name trends every other week. Off the field, he's less quarterback robot and more 23-year-old trying to balance pressure, fame, and playlists that slap. Because beneath the tailored suits and polished interviews is a young man still figuring out how to be great in a world that won't stop watching. In May 2024, he dropped something no one saw coming, a hip-hop single called Perfect Timing. And yeah, people rolled their eyes at first. Another athlete trying to rap, they said, until they listened. The flow wasn't half bad. The lyrics had drive. It wasn't just a vanity project, it was therapy with a beat. The track felt like Shedeur's way of saying, I'm more than football. I'm rhythm. I'm mindset. I'm Prime's kid, but I'm my own man too. And that's the part people keep forgetting. This guy is growing up in public. Every tweet, every car, Every sideline smirk gets magnified. When you're the son of Deion Sanders, you don't just play quarterback, you play life in 4K. And still, he handles it with the same calm he shows in the pocket. Unbothered, precise, occasionally cocky, always entertaining. But life's not all photo ops and playbooks. In June 2025, Shedeur made headlines for something that had nothing to do with touchdowns. Speeding tickets. 2 of them, just weeks apart. One clocked at 91 in a 65 zone, the other at 101 in a 60. Yeah, apparently those cars in his garage aren't just for decoration. The internet went wild. Reckless, they yelled. Immature, they posted. And maybe it was. Or maybe it was just a 23-year-old with too much horsepower and not enough patience for Ohio speed limits. Either way, it was a reality check, because fame magnifies your mistakes louder than your wins. Still, what stands out about Shedeur isn't perfection, it's resilience. He gets knocked, he adapts. He's been doubted at every level, from high school to HBCU to the NFL draft, and every time he's answered with work. Whether it's dropping music, running drills, or mentoring kids through his platform, he's building something that lasts longer than viral moments. Family remains the anchor. His brother Shedeur Sanders is also carving his own path in the NFL, signing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2025. Together, they're like the Sanders 2.0 franchise. The sequel nobody expected, but everyone's watching. Their father Deion is still the gravitational center, guiding, pushing, and occasionally roasting them on camera. It's a household built on competition and charisma, equal parts discipline and dazzle. At home, away from all that noise, Shedeur's life feels simpler. Nights by the pool, fire pit crackling, music playing, laughter from friends and family drifting into the air. It's the kind of peace that doesn't come from money. It comes from balance, a rare luxury for someone constantly living under a spotlight. And that's the paradox of Shedeur Sanders. He's both the millionaire kid and the hungry underdog, the product of privilege and proof of perseverance. He's flashy but focused, confident but still carving, and somewhere between the NFL playbooks and the Maybach playlists, he's defining what it means to grow up famous and still fight for your own name. Because make no mistake, and this story isn't over. The Ohio mansion, the luxury cars, the music, the fame, they're just the opening chapters. The real test begins on Sundays, when the cameras are rolling and the defense wants blood. That's where we'll see if the legend of Shedeur Sanders lives up to the name stitched on the back of his jersey. So here's the question. Do you think Shedeur Sanders is destined to become one of the NFL's next great quarterbacks? Or is this just the glamorous prologue to a story still being written? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed stepping inside the mansion, the mindset, and the mayhem of football's most talked about young star, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned. Because in the world of Shedeur Sanders, every chapter starts with a headline and ends with a highlight.